All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Look, if you're a parent trying to raise kids in today's totally hyper-connected world, you already know it can feel a bit like, well, navigating a minefield blindfolded. It's tough. So today, we're going to build a proactive parenting toolkit using the absolute latest psychological insights and family management tools. We are talking about practical, real-world solutions that you can actually use. We've got a really clear roadmap for today. We're going to cover the modern parenting dilemma, contrast punishment with positive discipline, look at building habits through rewards, mitigating those tricky screen time traps, teaching digital hygiene, and finally, how small habits create big futures.
Part 1. The Modern Parenting Dilemma. Let's talk about the absolute chaos of raising kids right now and that familiar false hope we've all felt when trying to get things under control.
So are you constantly stressed by chore battles, manic morning routines, and those endless negotiations over screen time? If you're nodding your head right now, you are definitely not alone. One mother and researcher hit the nail on the head when she said there is literally no one more full of false hope than a parent with a brand new chore chart. We all know that initial enthusiasm usually fizzles out in about 48 hours, right? We try setting up routines, we want things done, and then we just end up nagging, constantly monitoring, and totally stressing out when the kids inevitably get distracted. It leaves us exhausted, and honestly, it leaves the kids frustrated. World-renowned psychologist Dr. Shefali brings up a fascinating perspective shift here. She says conscious parenting is for those wanting a deep connection, and that often it's the parents who actually need to change their behavior, not the kids. I mean, wow. She argues a lot of the stress is just our own baggage. It asks us to really look inward. This is actually the exact philosophy behind platforms like Kidsipline. It's a parent-managed, self-development platform for kids. It's all about shifting away from just reacting to bad behavior and instead proactively building responsibility and positive habits together. We need to be aware in the present moment, tuning into what our child actually needs to grow. Moving on to part 2, punishment versus positive discipline. This brings up a crucial distinction from Michigan State University Extension research, and honestly, it's a total game changer for household rules. We so often think discipline and punishment are the exact same thing, but they actually yield completely different results. See, punishment just relies on fear. Yelling, grounding, taking away a toy, the child just learns to fear the consequence. They don't actually learn why the behavior itself is wrong, just how to be super careful not to get caught next time. Positive discipline, on the flip side, is all about teaching and guiding. It helps children understand that their choices have logical consequences. You still remain firm, but you're actually empowering your kids with the self-control to make better choices on their own. Section 3. Building habits through rewards. So, how do we actually implement this positive discipline in real life, using structured reward systems that put the responsibility back on the child? By setting crystal clear expectations, you're letting kids take ownership, which turns those incredibly stressful mornings into actual teamwork. Step 1. Assign an age-appropriate chore. Maybe your 8-year-old loads the dishwasher and your 5-year-old unloads it. Step 2. Track their progress visually so you can finally stop nagging. And step 3. Offer meaningful rewards when they put in real effort. But okay, how do you track this without losing your mind? Well, you've got 2 great options. You can go analog with a physical, sturdy punch card. Every time they finish a routine, they get a punch towards 15 minutes of tablet time or maybe 10 cents. But if you want a truly comprehensive approach, you can go digital with a platform like Kidsipline. It lets you assign point values to habits, track progress, and it even has Pomodoro focus timers for homework. Kids can just log in on their own device, check off their chores, and redeem points from a custom reward catalog that you design. It's purposefully built to foster confidence and growth while keeping you completely in the driver's seat. Part 4. Mitigating screen time traps. Okay, so what happens when the very reward we offer, like screen time, actually becomes part of the problem? Take a second and let this number sink in. 13.82%. That is the estimated global prevalence of internet addiction in children back in 2022. Because a screen is essentially a digital slot machine serving up constant dopamine hits, their developing brains are incredibly vulnerable to it. This is exactly why handing over a device without a strict plan is just a recipe for disaster. To figure out how to combat this, researchers recently published a massive study in the Journal of Medical Internet Research. They systematically reviewed thousands of records to see what interventions actually work to prevent this modern digital crisis in kids under 12. They found 4 main approaches: children's education on digital literacy, parenting strategies for managing devices, shifting focus to strategic physical activity, and professional counseling. But here's the massive takeaway. Just arbitrarily enforcing restrictions, like angrily cutting off screen time as a punishment, was not efficacious. What did work was educating the child and actively shifting their attention to highly engaging real-world activities. Systematic efforts in building positive habits, exactly like those we foster through Kidsipline, are infinitely more effective than just angrily snatching the screen away. Section 5. Teaching digital hygiene. Let's look at the actual tools out there to help establish this. Because as we've seen, just doing what everyone else is doing and handing an 8-year-old an unrestricted smartphone is definitely not the answer. If you're going to give your kid a device, first ask, what problem is this actually solving? If you just need them to call you after soccer practice, maybe look at a minimalist phone like the Wise Phone 2. Zero app store, zero internet, which means your required daily involvement is super low. If you need a bit more functionality, monitored phones like Gab or Bark offer customizable controls but demand a high level of parental involvement. And finally, you have monitoring apps like KidsLink for standard devices, giving you schedules and GPS tracking. The key is to choose an impartial tool that perfectly fits your family's specific needs and your personal bandwidth. And finally, Section 6, Small Habits, Big Futures. As we wrap up this explainer, let's tie all these practical tools back to our ultimate goal as parents. Dr. Shabali made a profound point. The screen is giving our kids something that real life currently isn't. So our job is not just to be the angry digital police. Our job is to create analog experiences that actually rival the dopamine they get from that screen. By trading reactive punishment for systematic, positive discipline, like setting up a Pomodoro timer on Kidsipline or purposely choosing a boring, dumb phone, you are relationally reclaiming your child's attention. Just like the platform's philosophy says, systematic efforts build the future. You're empowering them with real responsibility and growth. So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. What is one small habit you are going to change in your household today? Will you swap out arbitrary punishments for a structured, empowering system using a platform like Kidsipline? Whether that's busting out a simple punch card or having a serious chat about digital literacy tonight, remember this: small habits lead to big futures. Start small today and just watch how it transforms everything tomorrow.